Good evening and welcome back. It's now Tuesday the 4th of November and we're back on the little Fiesta Mk1 of Allan's. So I've been out for a little run and it was a bit jumpety, but it was stone cold, so it seems to rev up nice and clear now, so I don't know whether it just needed a bit of a heating. The thermostat looks like it could be sticking because it got quite hot well over halfway before it then dropped down when the stat opened, so he maybe needs to put a new stat in it as well, but just need to check the water level. Anyway, this is the car in question and it's a cracking little car. It took a bit to start as well, which is a bit worrying, but I don't know, we need to maybe look into this a little bit more because I think it might be a bit more of a problem than what we think. But I've just put the imp outside because I'm going to do the shock absorbers tonight down here on our bouncy car. And just thought I'd just show, I did a little bit of polishing last night on the roof and you'll see there where the rain is, and then just look where it's not rain, where it's rain but it's not waxed. So I've got a nice little patch on the roof where it's all bubbled up with the water, and then it's flat because there's no polish on. It just goes to show that was literally 30 seconds with a polish, whereas that anyway, needs a good clean up, this car, but it is a good car and I would like it next to my XR2 over there. It will complement it really well, but it's not to be, I don't think, but we'll give it a check over. There's also a bit of a noise, so we're going to check the back brakes over as well tonight, I think. Give it a bit of a general service for him to make sure we're up to speed, and then we'll have a look at the, depending on what time I get back in tomorrow night, I might have a night off it. He's ordered a heater motor. I found him one on eBay, so that's being delivered to his house, so it's a dash job out for that, or underneath the dash, so that's not a bad job. A couple of cables and that, so that'll be easy. Just change the motor, leave the old matrix in and everything because that's working fine, but happy days. So what we're going to do is get the jack out, I'm going to get the front wheels off and we're going to do these shockers, and what we'll do, I'll get it all jacked up ready, and we'll resume back when we're in that position. Okay, so now we're all set up and we're going to firstly get the shocker off. So what I have done, safety is always crucial, so I've got rid of the jack. We've got the axle stands under the car, under the chassis, so it's solid as a rock. This car is in absolutely amazing condition. I've just had a quick look underneath and it is like brand new. It's never ever been welded. The underseal is perfect, under the arches. It's just, compared to what I dealt with this thing next to me, it's just like chalk and cheese. Anyway, it's a very well maintained car by the looks of it. Got new disc and pads on. New CV boots, tyres are all good. Just wants a good wants a nice paint job, detailing and keeping in the dry. It will be for around forever, but that's up to me, not up to me. So first thing we need to do is, there's two bolts, these two here. So what we're going to do is get the windy gun on them, whiz them out. That will release the shock absorber from the hub. The hub will done just fall forward a little bit on the brake hose and the trapper end. And then once we've done that, it's a two-handed job. I'll have to get my hand underneath here to hold this up. And we've got a couple of 13mm bolts, one there, one there. Whiz them off, shock absorber will lower down and we'll be on the floor. I've got my spring clamps out. Now doing these is a horrible job. It's like changing a tyre. People get really nervous, and I do myself because they do jump off very occasionally. Hopefully it won't happen. There's Allan's new shock absorbers just down there. I've just got them out. They do feel a little bit soft, but they've been lying on the side, so I've pulled them up and down a couple of times, and I'm just going to let the oil settle in the right position at the bottom, because obviously being up and down, the oil passes through everywhere and it's not quite right. So anyway, on with the first port of call. So what we're going to do, we'll just get my camera in a better position so you can see what's going on. And what I'm going to do, try and put my light on as well, So hopefully that will give us some brightness. Now it's a really weird light, this, because it only bends one way. Right, so the magnet's clean. I'll stick it onto his car, and then hopefully that will see. So what I'm going to do is take these off now. It's very oily and greasy under this car, so health and safety again, put my gloves on, just to try and stop me getting covered in gunge. And we're going to use the windy gun. It's quite simple. Make sure I get my spanner on to hold it on the back, and I'm going to just crack the nut off if I can. Oh, right, that's one gone. And then we'll do the top one as well, and then we'll get the windy gun on, and we're not rattling it to death. Right, that's done. Right, check we're on reverse. Yeah, because we just took the wheel off. And I get the socket on, and we'll just whiz it off. Look at that, that bolt's like brand new. So we'll put a little bit of copper grease on them afterwards, just so it keeps them nice and clean for whenever they get done again. And luckily we can just about get the gun on there with an extension. There we go, that comes out, just lovely. Look at that, again, it's like brand new, unbelievable this car. It's a car that just keeps giving. But when I look at everything that's been done on it, or is, like all this here, I had to replace all that on mine because it was rotten. I had to do some of the chassis leg down here at the front. This is all like brand new. Jet wash, you can see all the grease. There's a little bit just starting on the inner wing, but it's absolutely something and nothing. Anyway, so we'll pull the steering rack round because we've left it off. And we'll just, there we go. So the arm drops down, and that's now loose. So what I'm going to do is get on the top and just whiz the 2 bolts off. Now this is a treat because I bought myself a nice new Milwaukee 3/8 drive, 5 amp. I don't know what voltage it is, lithium ion batteried. Like that. Now I've not got any impact sockets yet, so I need to get some 3/8 impact sockets. But for what we're doing, it's only light duty, so I'm just going to whiz the top off. Just 1 bolt out, and the washer. Just put that in the corner, and then I'll hold this. Right, that's up, and that's it down now. That's on the floor. Just take the bolts out of the gun. Simple job. That's the easy bit that everybody hates to do. So this now, here, is our shock absorber. This is the good one, although it's not very good because it's still a bit springy. And don't all this oil is just oil from wax oiling, which I like to think it is, or it's just oil, but it looks pretty dry in here. So what we're going to do, we get the spring clamps on. The springs are quite corroded, but not doing any harm. So these are just everybody knows, if you know spring clamps, they have a loose bit and they have a threaded bit, and what you do, you hook them on the highest point as you can, and then you wind them down with the ratchet or the windy gun or a spanner, whatever tools you've got. So what we just need, and we always set them opposite each other. So you just have to wind the normal thread. So screw them in. Well, actually it's an opposite thread, but screw them in, and that stretches. Now these are, I think we would have struggled there, so we might have to just do them on a bit of a lower down spring, say there. So it clamps it. All we need to do is take the weight off the spring top, so we can release the top bolt. That's all we need to do. So we'll just wind that up so it nips it by finger tight, so it'll stop it sliding round. Now we're not going to get much movement on that, but I'm hoping we don't need much movement on it. Okay, that's one on, and then we'll get the other one, spin the shock around, and we'll say we do it opposite. Now hopefully get this It's a bit awkward while I'm trying to explain. I don't know if you can see it on the floor though. Let's just tilt the camera down a bit. Yeah, right. So that's a bit easier for me. Just need to release this a little bit more. Now I'm going to get some safety glasses on. Not that it's going to help me much, but just up. There we go. Little spider. How about that? He's been living in there rent free. So we're just going to, let's wind this the right way so it nips it up. Now I'm going to nip and just get my safety glasses just to be on the safe side. Like I say, they'll not do that much, but safety first, as they say. Right, and I have plenty of them because I have them for the engineers at work. So we always have plenty of safety glasses in stock. Now these are a bit bigger, so hopefully, oh, they're also covered in overspray. So these will go over the outside of my normal glasses. What I'm going to do, that's 19mm. Yeah, we're just going to flick that onto down. And hopefully that's the right way to compress the spring. No, it's not. So I'll just do that one a little bit. Then we'll do the tension on that one. And you just do a little bit at a time on each side. You can hear it clamping it until we get the spring loose in the top or bottom section. Oh, we're getting close there. I think that's fully home, that. Right, so as low as we're going to get, so that should be loose enough now to take off. So what we're going to do is get the gun on the nut at the top, which so happens to be a 19mm. And we're going to undo the nut. And that's all turning. That's good. Not. So I'm hoping it's not doing what I thought it would do. So it has an Allen key in the end there. So I need to get an Allen key and then a spanner on it and try and unwind it and hold it with the Allen key. The other option is get a pair of mole grips on the shaft. These are no good. We don't want to do that on your new ones, obviously. So let me get my Allen keys. So it's a nice little set of Allen keys, this. Let's just see if we can get my camera to, all different sizes and colours. So I'm hoping I've got one that'll go in that, which looks like that one. Yep, the red one, 6mm. So spin them round like so. Just pull it out the holder. And we'll just hold that in there. So what we're going to do now is just tilt the camera up a little bit more. I'm going to try and undo this. It's a bit awkward because it's recessed. There must be a special box spanner or something for these. You can see the tension's off because that top plate's loose. So we should be okay, he says. But we'll turn it away from us just in case it does decide to flirt off. It'll be better undoing that. It's all loose now. Let's see how all that's loose. You see how that's loose. So let's just tilt it down a bit. It's very awkward when I can't see what I'm doing. This is the worst bit, doing your shocker, but if you've got garage tools, you should be able to manage them quite easily. And then That's a nylock nut at the top, because obviously we don't want it to come loose when you're driving around. So that's nearly loose all the way off now. Let's see if that nut will come undone. There we go. Right, so there's a nylock nut, which we've got a new one. Then we've got the top hat, so we'll take them off in order and we'll put them down face down. So that's a rubber bush. Sometimes these wear a little bit, but this looks in really good condition, as it would expect from the car. And there's the two captive bolts, nuts that the bolts go into, so we'll place that down on that because that goes like that. Then we've got another coned washer, aluminium, stamped, so that goes in like that. Then we've got this array of washers and rubbers and gosh knows what, so we'll put them on there as they go. Then we've got the spring holder, which is this bit here. We need to just, the spring's a bit tight on. Stuck this right. Oh, there's another washer there, that's fell out the top there, put that back in. That goes on the top like so. And then the spring comes off, as you can see, all compressed. A little bit sideways, but we'll leave that there for a minute because we're going to put that back on. Then we're going to reuse this boot. So this boot just pull up. Right, there we go. So we can see that shocker. It's got a bit of quite good resistance, but not fantastic. It is a bit tired, but we've got a new one, so put that to one side. And what we'll do, we'll go and get the other shocker. Now they're not handed, so we'll just pick the first one we come to, which is this one. You can see the resistance on that. It'll take a bit to settle down, but it's getting better, it's getting harder to pull up. And it has a new nut on the top, which I believe looks like 17mm. Slightly smaller than the original one. Yes. So if we can put the original one back on, we will do. It's the same thread. And we'll just keep the car original. Right, so all we do is put everything back on the reverse order. So we'll put the boot on first. If we can get it on, we just need to screw the nut on, give us something to pull on. And pull the shock absorber out a bit. Okay, that's what just locks on. What we might even better doing is putting a bit of a WD-40 on that maybe. Allan, I've got some actually in my cupboard. So we just need to get some WD-40 on that. I've also got my copper grease for the bolts. So we'll just put a bit on the rubber boot in there. Hopefully this will just, that little bit of lubricant will help it just slide onto that shaft a bit easier. Get that, much easier. Right, so I think we're nearly there with that. Right, so we'll pull that back out and we put everything back in the reverse order. So spring went on that way, and that lug sits into the base, which is just there. Then we want the top plate pushing back on. So we've got to make sure this section lines up with this part of the spring here, like so. And we knew that was a bit tight. That shock absorber keeps falling down, I think. It's gone back down again, which is a bit of a pain, this. So we're going to have to try and work double-handed. If we can get that through before it goes down. There we go. Keep that pulled up and twist that in. Then we put all the other bits back on quickly. We've got that. pulled up. And we've got the rubber bush, and we've got that. And then we'll put the old nut back on, because it keeps it all original. And now we should be able to whiz this up with the windy gun to get it started. There we go. Happy days. And what we'll do, we'll just nip this down. We'll get the Allan key in, which conveniently is a 6mm again. But I'll just make sure this is nipped up. Yeah, we're nice and tight there. So the next job is just to release. Keeps it coming a bit loose, my camera. What have I done here now? Is that loose? I'm going to release these, and it's a reverse order of what we've done. So we've got the new nut there we're not going to use. And we'll just wind these in a bit equally on both sides. And then we'll do the other one. One off. And that's two off. And hey presto, we now have a new shocker. Look at that. It'll drive like a good one. I'll just get a cloth to clean off the greasy hand marks, because we've got to make it look like new, haven't we? Pointless putting it back on, it's all dirty. God forsake. Look at that. I wonder how long he's had these. But they're KYB, which are the same as what I put on my XR2. What we've done, we've lined up, there's the bolt fixings at the bottom. What I've done, I've lined these up together. So in theory that will, when it goes in, the wheel arch will all line up. So we'll find out in a minute. So I'll line it up like that, lift it up with one hand into the hole. Right, I just need to reposition myself. Put the bolt in. That's one in. The other bolt. Bolt number 2 in. Then we get the new windy gun again. Now this has got an adjuster on it, so I'll put it on its lowest setting, because we don't want it over tight. We'll put the spanner on it afterwards. Right, so now we're all in. What we're going to do is just put a bit of grease on these bolts. Take the nut off. Grease the end. Number 1. Number 2. And all we're going to do is just lift that up. And that should slide in just nicely. We need to turn the wheel in. It'll line up. There's one in. And 2 in. And we'll just put the nut on. Each nut on, one there. And the other one here. And we'll just do the reverse, nip it up with the windy gun. Now we're not going to put it on full torque because we don't want to strip it. So we'll put it on as low as possible. And we need the gun and the ratchet. The spanner. The spanner the right way because it's a ratchet. Just nip it up. One nipped up, as you can see it's gone on low torque, so we don't strip it or over tighten it. Right, that's number 2 done. That's job 99% done. What we're going to do now is just get another 19 spanner and a 13 spanner and just nip them up by hand. It might just do that one, that side. There we go. Right, so what we're going to do is just get a couple of spanners on and just nip them up with the spanners so we know they're tight. That's one. 2, right, that's it. Now we'll just nip the top one, or we'll check the top one. 1, 2, and that is done. So that took about 20 minutes from being set up. So what I'm going to do, because he's not got any grease on here, I always do this all to my cars. Just put a bit of grease on. And this is what happens modern days. When you used to do a service many years ago, and old school people will understand, you used to take the wheels off and grease the nuts, and then you see all these people broke down on the side of the road in the modern cars with a puncher. 1, they've got no spare tyre, and 2, if they have, they can't get the wheels off because the aluminium corrodes on the hub, and nobody takes wheels off nowadays in garages. They just look through and have a little depth gauge to measure the brake pad and say, yeah, that's all right. And really, you're paying a lot of money for people just to check things with spacing tools, and nobody strips wheels off these days unless they're putting a tyre on or brake pads, and pay about 3 times as much as you would normally do. Anyway, that's my gripe. I go to a local chap who fixes all my modern stuff because I can't be bothered with the modern stuff, and he is very thorough. But look at that original wheel. It's even got the chrome embellishments on. So we're just going to bob this back on. So light, that 12-inch wheel. 145 80 12. And let's pop the wheel nut in. If we can get it started gammy-handed. Try this one. There you go, 1 in. 2. Now this was the good side shocker. The other side's the funny one. 3 and 4. And what we'll do, we'll check his tyre pressures as well while we're here. Let's just whiz the wheel up. What I'm going to do, and what I normally don't do, I'm going to torque them down, but I can't do it at the moment because the wheel's off the ground and it spins. So that's that side done. It's even got the original plastic caps for the wheels, wheel nuts. So what we'll do, once we get it down, we'll get the torque wrench out, find what the setting is, and we'll just nip them down. Then we know Allan is safe when it leaves this garage. Right, on to the next side. Okie dokie, so this one is the same as the other side, except this one, now this shocker is a bit wet. So I'm going to whiz the gun on these, whiz them off. Now what I have had to do is up the impact on the impact gun. I couldn't take the wheel off when I had it on setting 1, so I put it on setting 3. Now this is a little bit rustier, this side, because this is the side that probably gets a lot of the weather. But anyway, that's where we are with that. So that's off. So in theory, I've got a new caliper on this side, and discs and pads again. That's nice and loose. We'll whiz the top off, and we're off again. That's holding itself up at the moment. That was handy, wasn't it? So again, this is a DIY job. Even if you took them off and took them to a garage to get the springs took off, actually taking them off is so easy. Now this is a black shocker here. You see, the other one was a blue one. I think this has been replaced before, because it's got a cleaner spring on it, and I reckon that's why it's gone, because it's been a cheaper version. So we'll get the spring clamps back on and whiz them down again. Do it slightly different this way. We might take them from the bottom. Right, so. And there we go, number 2 done. So I'm going to just put a bit of grease on the top there. Grease on my bolts. Bit of copper grease, my favourite product. My last tin of this I had for about 15 years. And I had to buy some new when I moved into this garage. After I'd done the Mini, I used the rest of it on the Mini. So that was like probably about 12 years. But it lasted forever. One tin, and the idea is 1-inch paintbrush. Works a treat. Right, so we'll lift this back up. It's all lined up. Back in the hole. Oops. Let's just wedge that, what we did there. One bolt in. Back on. The other bolt in. Nip it up. Okay, and then this is the reverse order as what we took it off. Spin that round, lift that up, bolt in, one bolt, 2 bolts and 2 nuts on, and we'll whiz them up with the gun and the spanner. Like I said, we'll reduce this down to 1. Spanner on it. And the bottom bolt. Job's a good one. This wheel. And away we go. Nice little winter evening job. I've not had to put the heater on tonight because it was a bit too warm last night. Windy gun on low. We'll get the torque wrench out. And we're all done. Hey presto, that's how you change your shock absorbers. And that will be lovely now. So the next protocol is to let the jack down and we'll do the backs. We'll do one each side on the back. Okay, so I've just looked in the book and it says for the torque of the wheel nuts 63 to 85 pounds foot, which is such a big range. So I picked 75 pounds foot, which is 100 Newton meters because my machine's in, my torque wrench is in Newton meters. So we're just going to torque these down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just double check them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then we'll put the plastic caps on. And the tyre pressures are 26 in the front and 28 in the rear, so we shall check them all together at the end of the job. Just go and nip the other side up and check it. What we're going to do is do the backs now. So let's get it jacked up. Okay, so before we, I'll take the handbrake off for starters. Jacked it up, put a little bit of timber underneath just because it's on the that's on the suspension, so we don't want to damage that. What I'm going to do is just spin the wheel. Nice and quiet, and just check the wheel bearing. And that lifts. Oh, now we've got a bit of play there. Move it top and bottom. Look into that. So it definitely needs looking at, doesn't it? Get the light down here again. Let's whiz this wheel off and have a look what's going on. We'll have to re-grease the bearing, I think. What's my battery gone flat? My battery's flat. Oh dear. Right. We're back in a minute with a fresh battery. That's what we've done. Not got a spare battery, so I've took the one out the other gun. Fortunately, this Milwaukee, same batteries. How good's that? Fingers crossed. Get this off now. Unless this goes flat. Right, we need to up the lift. Put it on 3. Right. See how loose that is, can't you? Spinning around merrily. Tyre's starting to crack a bit on the inside, so you could probably do with a new tyre on that. You can just see the tread starting to crack a little bit. Probably doesn't do any miles, but doesn't mean it shouldn't be changed. Shock absorber looks a bit oily. It could be just the grease. But linkage is free. So what we need to do is get a screwdriver, flick that off, and then the adjustable spanner. We'll go and get one of them. Right. So I've not got the grips, the spanner, so we'll use a water pump pliers. So we'll flick the grease cap off, like so. There we go. Not much grease in that, not that it should need any. Then there's a split pin here. We just need to bend this round. I've got some new split pins, so we'll put a new split pin in. So always replace your split pins. Never really be. Oh, I tell a lie. I reuse mine sometimes if they're brand new, but you shouldn't really reuse them. And then let's just whiz the nut off. Get that loose. We'll check what the torque setting should be on this, and we'll do it to factory spec if there is a setting. I think you normally taper burns, you just nip them a bit and then slacken them off, so you don't. And now this has got automatic. Should have automatic adjusters on, so you might have a bit of a job getting this drum off, but we'll find out. May not though. Look at that. Oh my, it fell off. Little bit of brake dust in it. We'll have a look at the bearing in a minute. Let's just look at the condition of the shoe. That shoe is getting very, very low on that back edge. There's probably about 2 millimeters on there and about 4 there, and then that shoe is the same, probably about 4. That's quite equal. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a mask on, and we're going to blow these off with a blowgun. And just check the cylinder's not seized. That one's not seized on that side. And that's not seized on that side. So there's the adjuster, which is right down. So we need to just adjust that up slightly. But we'll just scuff the shoes off. Let's just whiz the front bearing out. We won't touch the back bearing, but just whiz the front bearing. Yes, it's a bit dry that. So I've got some bearing grease. So we'll put a bit of grease in that. The race looks a bit black. If you look in there, hopefully you'll see. I don't know if you can see or not, but you'll see the race looks a bit black, burnt. So it probably do with a wheel bearing. But if it's not droning, it should be all right. We'll just put a bit of grease in it. Right, let's go and get a mask and grease and a blowgun. Right, so we're going to open the door slightly to get the dust out. And we've got our mask on. And hopefully these are asbestos free, but we'll soon find out, won't we? We've got to have a dust mask on just to protect us. Right, can't see anything out them glasses because I've got a big greasy mark on them. We'll leave the mask on for a little while just to let the dust settle. Right, so what we're going to do is put a bit of grease. I've got this grease and this is a extra heavy duty, brilliant stuff. I got this from Simply Burns and there's not much left, but there's enough for what we need. What we're going to do is just put some on the bearing, just run it round like so. Plenty of grease in it, and just run it round the races. Oh, my light's going. Got everything's going flat. There we go. And then that's enough grease. Can't see. So what we'll do, put that in there. We know that's safe. Let's get a cloth. So what we're going to do is just adjust the brakes up very slightly. Now we should be able to, whatever prise the bottom out. Ah, there we go. To prise the bottom out, you feel, Gary, because obviously it adjusts on the bottom, doesn't it? So let's just adjust it out a bit, get it a bit tighter than what we had. So we got rough memory. And that's where we were. You can see the line where it was. Do it one click. This is flashing, so it's going to go flat. Let's just see if we can just get a bit more out of it. I'll put the drum back on. Yeah, it's just nice that. Just nice. I don't think we can get, might be able to get one more click on it. Should we get one more click? Should we try it? One more click. What we don't want to do is over tighten it and then we can't get the drum off. Oh, grease. Bearing back in. I think I can go a bit more on that. I think we can get another couple of clicks on that. Let's do one at a time. Obviously, once you put your foot on the brake, it adjusts it. Put on my leg. Quadrant there. It's all different. The mat one's completely different to the back too. Right, I think we'll have that. It's done. So we'll put the washer on. We'll go and have a look in the handbook, see what they should be torqued down to. And let's go and torque it down. I don't think there'll be a torque setting for it. I might be wrong. But rear hub nut, we'll have a look. Put that on anyway so we know we don't lose it. It's just nice that. Right, let's have a quick butcher's in the book. Got to find a socket to fit it. Hopefully that 24mm will do the job. Oh, look at that, what a guess. Right, so nip it down between 15 and 18. Spinning it anti-clockwise. For me that's right, and then nip it again. Never done this in my life. Nipped it to a torque. Right, put this on. So you'll notice this has all little castellated sections for your split pin to go through. One of them's bent slightly. What did I do with it? With the pliers. Square them up. What I'm not going to do is video the other side, because unless we find something disastrous, it's not worth it. Because we're doing exactly the same thing. So all you need to do, it's like anything, you just turn it, it's like a cam timing multi-hole sprocket. You turn it till it lines up right, that's lined up there. So now I'm going to go and get a proper split pin. Okay, so we're going to try and find a split pin to fit this now. Oh, it's just stainless steel ones, these. Everybody had their own, and my brother's really. That's a big fat one there, we'll let go in. Oh, look at that. Lovely, proper split pin. So what we just need to do, put that there in this little tip there, gets it started. Spin it round. What we'll do is spin that right round now, pull it through, spin it round. And then spin that way. Turn that round to the back. I'll get the big pliers on it. Water pump pliers, and squash it. And that is done. Grease cap back on, tap it on. We're now fully completed. I'll put a little bit of copper grease on the linkage there, so we know it's safe, it won't rust. And then we just need to torque the wheel nuts down to 101 Newton meters. So we'll do the usual, bit of grease on that. So we'll do the back hub. And we'll do the wheel studs. I'm going to release these videos, two videos I'll have. We'll probably have three, because I'll be doing the heater fan, so that might be interesting. Bit of contortionism. That'll be a separate video. But I'll get this one on, and then we'll torque it down. Switch my light off for now. I have to go and charge everything up. Now where the wheel studs back there. Could do with some brake shoes on the back, they're getting a bit low. So that's his list of jobs we can do for him. Could do with an oil and filter, and probably put some proper spark plugs in as well, if it was me. And that is the other side now completed. This side, sorry, now completed. So unless there's any horrors, we won't video the other side, because there's no need to. So we'll revert back when we're done, which will be probably in about, I would think, 10 minutes or so. Let's get up and torque these wheel nuts down. Oh God, that must have tightened it up, because yeah. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jobs are good, and caps on to the next side. Quite an enjoyable little job to do these, to be honest. Quite enjoy doing bits of servicing works. It's easy. Just methodical, following the same pattern. Anyway, there we go. There's your brakes adjusted on one side on the Ford Fiesta Mk1. Completely different to a Mk2, especially the handbrake cable, because it has like a little linkage in the middle on the back axle. The Mk1 just has a cable each side. The Mk2, sorry, has a cable each side. So it's very weird. So they really changed them. I wouldn't thought they were that much different, but clearly they are. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Next side, here we go. Okay, I said I wouldn't show the passenger side. However, wheel cylinder's gone. I thought the brake fluid looked a little bit low. But when you look there, you can see it's leaking. All the shoes are all contaminated. The brake drum's all contaminated. I thought when I started taking it off, the back plate looked a bit wet. So he's going to have to get shoes and a cylinder. I think he needs shoes anyway. Just means he's got to get a cylinder. So I don't know whether he wants me to source them or whether we can get them from the local suppliers. But what we'll do, not much, just grease. I'll just clean the oil off and give it a wipe down. It's not going to do any good because they're knackered. But anyway, there you go. That's the importance of checking it over. If you hadn't done this, you wouldn't have known. Come for an MOT next year, no brakes. Then we ended up in a right pickle. So we need to get some shoes, don't we? Shoes and cylinders, and you can see how much this one's adjusted up compared to the other side was. So we'll re-grease the bearing anyway and just have a quick check. Clean the drums off, scuff the shoes up. Might get it's pointless me putting a blowtorch on, but I might try and dry them off a little bit and at least to be operating a bit. But they certainly need sorting out, that's for sure. So anyway, there you go. That's that side finished early tonight. I'll have to text him and tell him what we need. Well, that's it for tonight, folks. Shock absorbers. Doesn't bounce all over the place. Tick in the box. Back brake on that side, okay. Shoes are a bit low. Passenger side, well, we all know what's happened to that, don't we? I need a wheel cylinder and a set of shoes. And I'll have to get some brake fluid because I run silicon and I've not got any .5 or whatever it is these days. So tyre pressures are done. They were a bit all over the place. 26 in one, 27 in another, 22 in another. So I've blown all them up. Might give it a little run now. I'm not sure what time it is. Let's have a look on the watch. 8:30. I'll have 10 minutes. I'll have to put my wet sunbeam away, which is just outside the garage there. Park that back in, get the Fiesta in, call it a night. We can still see on the roof where the rain's been and my wax has worked. Look at that. So we need to give it a wax for him as well. We'll give it a bit of detailing. I'll go and use. I don't know why I do it, but I just dead conscious about people's cars and want to make sure they're right. And this wasn't right brake wise. It needs sorting. It's important. God forsake, puts his foot on the brake, goes to the floor. There'll be no more Mk1 Fiesta, and it's an absolute cracking shell. This never ever been welded. Like I say, it's like brand new underneath. It's been really well maintained. Wax oil, the petrol tank's like new. It's just, it wants a nice paint job. A nice paint job, that seat repaired, bumpers straightened a little bit. It could be one of the best ones out there. I'm not joking. I've never seen anything so good in my life. Underneath, a good jet wash off and a clear wax oil. It feels like it's come out the showrooms. A little bit of corrosion starting on the passenger inner wing, but that's easy sort. But oh my gosh, so nice. It's a shame to let it get to rack and ruin. So I need to have a word with him. He can stay in here as long as he needs it. Over winter if it needs to be. He can stop, well it can't because I've got my imp to do. But however, he can stay in here for a week or so. Till I get the heater box done, and I'll end up doing his brake shoes and cylinders, or cylinder. Apart from that, it's over and out. Hope you've enjoyed what we've done. That's part 2. Part 3 is to come now, brake shoes and a heater motor. So we'll bore you for another hour or so with that. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like what I do, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. There's loads of videos on there. Now the dark nights are coming in, no weather. You can go and visit all the shows we've done over the last 18 months and reminisce with the good weather and the bad weather, the good cars, what you think's a good car and what you think's a bad car. I'm very impartial. I like all classics. So I just enjoy maintaining them and helping people. I will do this for Allan because he's a great guy I've met, and I want to make sure he is safe in his car. And if he wants me to look after his Escort and do some bits on that, I'd be more than happy to do that. Because it just keeps me busy and it keeps you guys informed of what you can actually do in a garage. I'm only in a domestic garage. Yes, it's a double garage. I've not got a lot of tools. I have got some good tools because I used to be a mechanic 25, 30 years ago. So I've got some snap-on tools. But most of my stuff is what you can buy from Halfords or off the internet. And it's just a little bit of knowledge. And anybody can do anything they try. And like Ben says on Tasty Classics, don't strip everything down at once. Do it in segments, like the shocker. Do one shocker at a time. Don't take them both off, because you've always got one to reference. Always take photos like I did with the carburettor job. So, you know, my advice, you can do it, and you can do anything. You use a common sense. If you're unsure, just ask somebody. There's plenty of people on the internet who are more than willing to help and give you their opinion, right or wrong. Hopefully you'll see I do it my way, safe way, and a logical way. And hopefully that comes across on the video, because I'm not a shyster. I'll do everything, and you know, I just want to make sure people are happy. Anyway, enough of me waffling. See you on the next one. Ta-ta for now. Well, road test time. Pitch black. Hopefully you'll hear how this little baby runs, and it sounds good engine wise. Oh, you have me bushed away then. Not going so far, about half a mile, a couple of mile away. Listen to that engine though, beautiful. Not now the rear wiper works, there must be a switch somewhere for it. Oh, there on the dash. Oh, that slows a snail. Clearly doesn't use that. Listen to it. Beautiful engine that. Get the seatbelt on, probably tootle off. Keep PC Plod happy. Bit of a crunch in second. Might need the synchro mesh doing. Still a little bit hesitant, but I'm convinced it could be the plugs. Oh, brakes are rock hard. That's good. Did die a little bit. Oh, it didn't crunch then. Might be better when it gets warm. We have richened it up very slightly, so fingers crossed. Let's go left out of here. Well, it's easy to be hesitant there. Yeah, still a bit jumpy. That feels like ignition to me. Listen to that little baby roar. It's a flyer. 1.1 litre. Tell you what, ideal for modern day. I just don't understand why it's a bit jumpy. I might try a set of plugs in it. Just a bit. Maybe it just wants driving. Because Allan probably doesn't give it as much stick. Probably drives it nice and sedate. These things need revving. And they do need using a bit. A cracking little engine though. Might be just bunged up. Exhaust, it could be anything. But he seems to think, I need to speak to him and just see when it started happening. It is a bit jumpy. And everything's right. Tappets are right, timing's right, plug caps are right, carburettor's clean as a whistle, new leads on it. My only worry is them blooming plugs, them Erodium plugs. I know my friend had them in his helmet, but he swore blind by them, and it run like a bag of spanners, and one fouled up. And he wouldn't have it was the plugs, and he put a new set of plugs in, and it was perfect. So it runs a bit warm as well. So I don't understand why that's so warm. It's just over half and it's flipping freezing. The heater is on, but it goes like it. It's just jumpy. It's like the points, but it's electronic. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's the spark plugs. I think I've got an old set BP60S's. Just throw them in it. What have I got to lose? Nothing. Jumpy. That's not carburation, that jumping. At all. That is not carburation. This is a flyer though. An absolute little flyer. And his big Mitsubishi flashing away for some reason. It is, it's a cracking little car, this. We'll give it a bit of, unless it's got some dodgy juice in. It's alright there. It drives lovely. I could use this every day. Oh God, what's happening here? Traffic everywhere. Amazon Prime van, just park where they want, double yellows. No wonder all their vans are wrecked. They don't give a monkeys. Listen to that rev. Beautiful little thing, beautiful it is. I want this car. I won't do anything apart from paint it. Just paint it. Keep it bog standard. Could even get the wife to drive this, I reckon. Might have to do the gearbox, tell a lie. I don't think I could live with the crunch in second gear. But what a car. Suspension feels lovely. Bobs along, absolutely. I bet it does about 40 to the gallon, this as well. I keep harping on about that engine, but it's such a good engine. Phenomenal. Feels so much nicer with them new shockers on the front though than what it was before when I went out in it earlier. Come on, get your foot down. We're in a 14, you're only doing 25. It's jumping like Billy-O. My gosh, it flies. It's a little beauty. Allan, you've got a good one here. I love it. It's ace. It drives beautiful. You've got to crack it. Allan, you've got to buy your ear. If you ever want to sell this, provided it's not a ridiculous amount, put my name down on it, man. I need this car in my life. I need a standard little Fiesta to go along my top of the range, should we say, XR2 of the Mark II. I can have a comparison of each. Even though it's beige, shiny, it'd be lovely. I'd love it. Such a nice car. like having the imp again.